Maximize your reps. Okay, so first of all, what is a rep? Okay, a rep is short for a repetition. So you're an athlete, you do a sport, your sport is volleyball, you're going to do volleyball things. You're going to pass the ball. Every time you pass the ball, that is a passing repetition. It is a passing rep. Every time you set it, it's a setting repetition, which is a setting rep, etc., etc. So anything that you practice over and over again, you repetitively practice, each time you do it, in coaching terms, we call those reps. So maximizing your reps is about getting the most out of each thing that you practice, each time that you practice it. It's that simple. Now, there is currently a large push in the coaching community that reps are king. Okay, so reps mean everything. And this is not dumb. I mean, reps are like oxygen for athletes. It's how you get better at your sport. So you can't sit there and think about being better at hitting a volleyball. You need to go do it. So there's a big push to just reps all the time. And this is great. Now the problem here is that if all you do is jam reps at a kid, if you just have them play forever and ever, over and over, and never give them any information, those reps might not be the greatest thing. They might be doing it wrong or doing it too slow or who knows. And so my push that I want to get into the side of your head is that quality reps are king. Quality reps. So these have to be reps that aren't uninformed and aren't just done for the sake of doing them. Quality reps are king. So first off, how do you get a quality rep? It has to be athletic. Now, that may sound silly because, well, we're doing a sport. Isn't sports athletic? Wouldn't everything I do in a sport be athletic? Yeah, I suppose to a certain degree, sure. But what I would like you to consider is if you're hitting a volleyball, are you just going up there and hitting a volleyball, and if I get 100 hits in, that's more than the other team's doing, so now I'm better? No, because you're not trying that hard. You're not doing that rep as best you can athletically. You're not jumping as high as you can and then working hard to get the form right. So when I say they have to be athletic, I mean they can't be half-hearted. You really need to go out and be as athletic as possible so that when you need to be super athletic, you've practiced doing it that way. Just besides that, to make a quality rep, you need to be athletic. You also need to be informed. So again, if anybody could just go out and do billions of reps and magically become the best, nobody would need coaches. Nobody would need prior experience. Nobody would need science-based training and form. Okay, if volleyball is a very unique sport, in my opinion, because there's been so much science jammed into it. I mean, you can't get rid of the data that coaches better and more experienced than me in the past have put into their craft and then passed along to the rest of us that we now try to pass along to you guys. So if you're just doing reps, or if you're doing reps without getting much information on how you're doing when you do them, they're not as informed as they could be. So this is where you get a coach on your team and you listen to them, or you go get a private coach who may know more about a specialty area that you want to improve in. So be as athletic as possible, make sure they are informed reps, and the last big thing about making sure your reps are quality is that make sure that they are meaningful. So again, I go back to I'm just doing these, and well, those are reps without a consequence. I mean, we're all human, and unfortunately, without a really good reason to do uncomfortable things like change, like if you found out you're not doing something right, you're doing it the way that is comfortable for you, well, you're going to keep doing it that comfortable way forever until there's a good reason to change. And so a meaningful rep might be, hey kiddo, you need to get 6 out of the next 10 balls hit somewhere within 10 feet of the line, and if you don't, you have to do 10 push-ups. Or I don't know, something where there's a consequence attached to it. Or, hey, the reason you're always getting blocked is because you never hit line, and that's why we're trying to do this drill. I know you don't like hitting line because you're not currently very good at it, but These are meaningful reps because it's the area the block is leaving open for you because you never ever hit there because you're scared of it because you're bad at it. So I'm trying to help you out, and I'm giving you an opportunity to work on something that's going to help you in your actual games. So those are super meaningful reps. So make sure they're as athletic as possible, as informed as possible, and as meaningful as possible, and then your reps, which are the most important thing in the world for an athlete, will be quality. Now, beyond that, you should experiment and memorize while you are repping. Now, experiment and memorize. So let's go back to the kid hitting line that's not very good at hitting line, so they've been avoiding it for most of their career. Well, when they're stuck in that drill and they're hitting line, well, they're going to do whatever it is they've done in the past that's gotten them pretty bad results, and so they're not going to do very well. So they might get some information. If I have a great coach, they might make sure that they're really watching the kid and helping them out. But mostly, it's up to you to experiment. Like, I don't know, I guess there's 2 different ways to hit line. I could do it with my arm, or I could do it with my hand to get that ball to go line. Or I could do both. Heck, I could rearrange my approach to go new directions. I guess there are kind of a lot of ways I could hit line. So you're going to experiment with how to get that done. You may have only done one thing to hit line. I know tons of hitters who are amazing cross-court hitters because they line themselves up with the ball outside of their body. They line up with the ball out here, making it really easy to hit away from them, making it super hard to get back to the line. They have no idea they're doing this. It's just something they've always done, and they've always known I'm good at cross-court and bad at the line. So they've avoided the line. And then when they go try it, they haven't changed anything because maybe nobody's told them. So you have to change where the ball is when you hit it, or you have to change your approach, or something. You may not know, your coach may not know. My point is you have to experiment. And when you experiment, you take the things that work and you memorize them. You go, well, that was great. I should do that again. You can't just happen upon success and then just let that sit there and never go back to it. That's the point of some of those reps in practice where you just go and repetitively do things. You're not actually playing a game. You're doing a drill. Your coach is giving you an opportunity to work on stuff without consequence. By the way, these are called open reps. Open reps are reps without a consequence that's right there in your face. So open reps is this hitting the ball down the line with blockers and maybe even a defender, but you're not going to play it out for points. If there's no grand consequence for failing to get X amount in, those are open reps. You can just work without pressure. Now, consequential reps are when there is some kind of pressure or accountability piece tied into it. Like you're competing against Sarah, and one of you is going to score more points down the line. That's the winner, and the other person's the loser. That's almost open reps in my opinion, because all you're doing is winning and losing. But then if you attach some running or you don't start the next tournament, then the consequences start to rise. So keep in mind that while you're doing reps, there's 2 different kinds. There's open reps, generally without consequence, and consequential reps, reps that really matter for your ability to start, continue playing, make a team, etc. Okay, so experiment and memorize with your reps, especially when they're open reps, to create feel files. Now, if you haven't seen my video on feel files, this is maybe the most important thing you need to know about how to be an athlete and get better yourself and get better than other athletes. Feel files, remember, are when we do something, we kind of know how to do it. So that if the situation comes up, you just pull up that file in your head and you know how to do, like this kid knows how to hit cross court. They're not sure what they're doing, but they know how to do it. You don't have to be the most intelligent, well-educated, most informed person on earth to have a feel file. You know how to hit cross court. You've done it your whole life. You know you don't know how to hit line, so that's what you're working on today. You're working on developing a feel file. You're experimenting, finding something that works so you memorize it, and then getting a ton of reps at it, quality reps at it, so that you now command the ability to hit down the line. You may only have one way of doing it. You need to add to that. You need 2 or 3 or 4. You need options. But it's better than being just the cross-court guy, and that's all that you know. You now have something you can confidently go to cross-court and confidently go to down the line. Keep working on those skills. Great hitters have about 7 different escapes for any set. They don't necessarily think through them in English, but they've got many tools. And ironically, tooling the block is one of them if you haven't been working on that. So this is great. We're working in our open or consequential reps to experiment, memorize, and create feel files so we can confidently go back to them in the games. Now, some things that you can work on while you're repping and doing that. Experiment, memorize, create feel files, repeat. You can run when going back to lines. So why would I run? Because in the end of practice, you get more reps. I am telling you that as an old guy coach, I still have the habit of running, and if we're doing hitting lines, running to get my ball and running back to line. And I will run back to beat my athletes on purpose because I get more reps. I don't want them to have less reps. But at this point, hopefully it makes them angry or playful or something so that they try to run to beat me back. So I have now tricked them into getting more reps. Ha ha! Great coaching, or I get to hit more. Either way, I have fun. So when you run back to the line, like run. It's not jog, it's run. You can get in, I don't know, say it's 5 more reps every time you do hitting lines. We'll multiply that out over the course of the season. You'll have hundreds more reps than somebody else. And if reps are the oxygen that you breathe to improve as an athlete, why are you not fighting for more of them? So run back to the lines. Get more. Not because the coach does it longer or the coach values it anymore, but because you worked harder to get back to do more reps faster than other people. Other things you can do. Put game time effort into your reps. Well, game time effort may be hard for some people to drum up or summon within them, but I don't care. You guys, quality reps, remember those meaningful reps? This is what I'm talking about. If you're putting in home kind of effort into your reps, that's how you'll be good at doing them. Do you ever do this in a game, or do you, right? What kind of rep do you want to be good at? Whatever you do on a regular basis, that's what you'll improve at doing. So if you're ho-humming through your reps, you'll be great at ho-hum hitting. If you're going game time effort all the time, when games come, that's all you've been practicing. Game time speed, game time effort, game time strength. Game time effort is your key to being better in the games. Put in the effort at practice, you're going to put it in the games, and the reps will instantly become more meaningful and hence more quality. Push your boundaries without being stupid. So, remember the kid that's working on hitting the line? Well, they go, okay, coach, and they embrace the drill. Like, you're right, I need to be better at hitting the line. And so they aim for perfect line, like they're gonna nail that line. Well, dude, you're not very good at hitting the line. Why are you going for the most legendary shot? Well, because we all want to be legends. That's why, but it's dumb. If you're bad at hitting the line, why don't you just hit like 8 or 9 feet from the line, which isn't cross court, and that's a step in the right direction. And if you're good at 8 or 9 feet, then aim for 5 or 6. If you're good at 5 or 6, then aim for 2 or 3 or 4. But work your way up there. You didn't go from crawling to running. You had to walk first, and then you had to jog, and then you could run, and then you got really good at running. Well, the same thing. Don't be stupid when you're brave enough to push your boundaries, when you're brave enough to accept and embrace the line hitting drill when that's the thing you're not good at, or whatever it is for you. Back setting for you setters, I don't know. When you're brave enough to embrace the drills that you've been avoiding, don't be stupid about pushing your boundaries. Be smart. Take it step by step. Okay. And for all of this, you need to get feedback. We go right back to that being informed. But being informed can be paying attention. It can be a lot of things. When I say get feedback, you need to recruit the help of others. Ideally, wise, more experienced individuals, usually older, usually old guys like me that are your coach. But again, it could be you hire somebody, could be you just tell a friend. When I'm passing, I'm trying to get my arms out super early because my coach says it's important to present my platform way before the ball gets there. And apparently I don't do that. Can you just be right behind me in line and just watch how far before the ball gets to me are my arms ready? And just tell me. That's not an expert. You're recruiting a peer, but you're still getting feedback. If the coach has said this is important and somebody can watch and tell you did or didn't do it, you should get that from them. Okay. And in the end, all this advice, all these things, open versus consequential reps. Kiddo, all reps matter. I don't say this to be cute. I don't say this to do anything other than drive home something that drives us coaches insane. So again, we're doing hitting lines. We're repping, doing our thing. Maybe we're working on cross court. Maybe it's line. Maybe you can just do whatever you want. The amount of times I have seen a child get a bad set, run up, catch it, and then go back in line and throw it to the setter drives me nuts. It isn't that we think that kid has a bad attitude, but the kid doesn't recognize the value of that terrible set. Now, if your setter's perfect and you expect to go an entire lifetime of playing your sport and never get a bad set, then I would okay that catching of the bad set and giving it back to the setter and trying again in practice. But you're going to get bad sets. Bad sets are repetitions at when you get a bad set in a game. So who here is bad at dealing with bad sets in games? All humans. Well, some of us, again, us old people, have learned the value of taking those terrible sets and finding some kind of way at dealing with them in practice, so when we get to the games, we can deal with them there. Would I have rather had an ideal set that, we're supposed to be in line, you set me way inside, come on, man. I'd rather have had a perfect set, but since I'm going to get imperfect sets in games, and I want game time effort, I want realistic, meaningful reps. Well, a crappy set's going to happen in a game, so deal with a crappy set now and be ready for it when game comes. All reps matter. All of them. Warm-up reps. During pepper, when kids are warming up, I see ho-hum pepper all the time. And it's okay. You can do that. But kids that take pepper seriously are getting meaningful, quality reps out of that pepper. They are way more ready to play. Oh, how about when the person that's hitting at you doesn't hit it at you? Kids watch the ball go by. Other kids dive. They get real defensive reps. They are insanely ready to go. They are athletic. They are totally engaged in making sure that ball gets back to their partner. Are you doing these things? If you're human, usually you're not. And you need to hear somebody like me point out that other athletes are doing this, and it's part of why they're improving faster than you, or already way better than you, and you don't know how to catch them, because they're improving faster than you, and they started above you. So I want you to be able to compete with these people. I want you to be great. I want you to get better as fast as possible. And reps are the key. Reps are king. Quality reps are the way to do this. And so I encourage you to look around, see what you're doing well, see what you're not doing well, and change. And make sure you maximize your reps in your next practice and, all reps matter, your next competition. Good luck.